So I've been putting off this video on the YouTube channel for a little while now. Obviously, guys, I'm making this video and I just didn't really even know what to say when the tragic events of Kobe Bryant and Gigi and all the other victims of the helicopter crash, which I don't want to get into detail on what happened, but I do want to, talk about what Kobe Bryant meant to me. And basketball, guys, was a sport that I've always played. I played, basketball, I've played soccer, I've played rugby, hockey, but the two main sports, I should say three technically, were baseball, soccer, and basketball. My grandpa is actually in the College Basketball Hall of Fame, and so he was very good. He had an opportunity to go to the pros. And he ended up not going to the pros because my grandma got pregnant and he decided to stay, obviously become a family man instead of going to the pros. And anyways, all in all, I have been around basketball for my entire life. It's been something that has been rooted in our family and something that we absolutely are passionate about. We love basketball. Back when I was younger, I used to collect newspaper clippings of different, the sports section in the newspaper. I would cut out different clippings and images of different players because I didn't have cable for a while when I was younger, and so I would put those. And I would actually use tacks and actually put them onto my wall in my room when I was rooming with my younger brother. And Kobe Bryant was the very first newspaper clipping that I had put up. It was back when Kobe had an afro, and I was following, of course, the Lakers. They were a lot of fun to watch. I've been a Cavs fan, a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, my whole life. But I love the Lakers. They're kind of like that second team that I've always really loved, and just loved watching. I always thought they were just great. And I grew up more so with Kobe and LeBron than Michael Jordan. I remember Michael Jordan. I was about 8 or 9 years old when he won his fifth and his sixth championships. But Kobe Bryant was kind of like that next guy up. I never thought Kobe was as good as Michael Jordan or as good as LeBron, but he was just a stone cold killer when it came to the basketball court. And I loved his Mamba mentality, and that was something that people, when I was, just younger, we would always talk about. And just, in the clutch, he was just such a clutch player. And watching his career progress, just unbelievable, an incredible player. I always thought that the divorce between himself and Shaq was just a disservice, in my opinion, to the basketball world, because I think that they actually could have just kept winning. I thought they could have won multiple more titles. Now, Kobe won 5 rings, and that's huge. That's massive. But I thought that they could have won even more if Shaq would have stayed with him. When I heard, the news, I didn't think it was real, just like everybody else. Kobe, when I heard this, it was shocking, right? But it really did feel like losing a piece of yourself, right? It felt like I lost something when Kobe passed away. Because not only am I into, sports, like, basketball, I love basketball, but I'm also into filmmaking. I went to school for film at the New York Film Academy, did a short-term program, and now I, do content creation on YouTube, which YouTube has changed my life, and just in multiple ways, not like from a financial perspective, but from a perspective of being able to kind of show everyone my creativity, or just, what I can kind of do, whatever it is that or create the kind of content that I want to create for everyone. And there's others out there that share the same passions as I do. One of those, though, is film. and I went to the academy, and I absolutely loved. I've been completely, like motivated by all of the different types of people I've seen out there, whether it's Scorsese or Nolan or Spielberg, all of these guys who are creating incredible films. And winning Academy Awards when I was younger, I always wanted to be the next Steven Spielberg. I always wanted to, that was kind of like my thought. I wanted to be the next Spielberg because he was so good at his craft. Kobe not only dominated on the court, but he also was dominating in life. Sure, he had things that ended up happening, which we're not going to talk about, but there were decisions that were made, and everyone makes bad decisions. So it's not just Kobe. It's just we know Kobe did because, when you're a superstar, a worldwide superstar, you have a spotlight on you. And so any little thing that you do that would be controversial you're going to be looked at under like a microscope, right? But Kobe was not only dominating on the court, but he was even dominating within the filmmaking industry. I mean, he won an Academy Award. Sure, it was for a documentary or a short film. But still, an Academy Award is an Academy Award. Winning 5 rings, then winning an Oscar, and then, just what he was doing off the court was I wouldn't say it was as impressive, to me at least, but it was up there. And I think that his life, over the course of his life, he would have done so much more. And that was the thing that I want to get at here, is that he would have done so much more. It's really sad to see a superstar like Kobe Bryant pass away, because you look at these guys, like when I was younger, and even to this day, a guy like LeBron, I look at this guy and I'm like, this is the greatest athlete I've ever watched in my life. Like, he's that good. But it's not just what he does on the court that's incredible. It's what you do off the court. And like LeBron does the I Promise School, and, he does all these other things, right, for charity and things of that nature. He's a really good family guy. No controversies really have surrounded him. Kobe is like that to me. And what I'm getting at is that those guys they're almost like gods, right? They're like idols. They are people that we look up to. And to see someone like Kobe pass away it really gives you a reality check. And I think what I noticed, at least when all of this happened and they confirmed that he had passed away, it brought our country together. It really felt that way, that it brought the entire country together, that you got to love one another, and that it kind of gave us all a reality check. So that would be the one silver lining behind this whole thing, which is an absolute terrible tragedy that happened. Not only did his family lose him, he, lost his daughter, lost all of these other friends, and that is just devastating. I can't imagine what that's like. I've had, of course, family members pass away in the past, but I don't know what it would be like to lose my dad and my sister, like, at the same time. That, guys, is absolutely devastating. It's a travesty, and not just because it was Kobe, but for anyone. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. It's a terrible, terrible thing that happened. And what I want to get at here is, first off, is rest in peace, Kobe. I wanted to make this video because he was one of those guys who I idolized growing up, who I absolutely loved watching play the game of basketball. Even though it wasn't my favorite, he wasn't on my favorite team, I respected his game like I respected Michael Jordan's game. It is going to be hard to get over. I don't think we'll ever really fully get over, the passing of Kobe. But I know his legacy is going to live on, as LeBron said in his speech at the Staples Center, stating that, you're going to live on. He'll live on forever, right? And it also kind of puts in perspective, it's like Kobe Bryant, this guy who created this legacy, this incredible legacy, painted a way for other players in the NBA, but he also painted a path for other filmmakers, for other dads, for other parents. He built a legacy that I want to one day, like, even if I could just be as good of a dad as him, that would be, I would think that, man, that's amazing. Like my legacy will be that I was, as good of a dad as Kobe Bryant, because it seemed to me, at least from the outside looking in, that his, like, being a father to his kids, he was really good at. And I think he learned from, his mistakes. And we all have made mistakes. Like I said, guys, we've all made mistakes. It looked like he learned from his past mistakes, and he, really kept up the faith and moved into a direction of extreme positivity into success upon success. And like I said, his legacy will live on. And I think that many of us out here in around the world now, we want to build a legacy too. We want to build something that people will remember us for, because Kobe will live forever. And that's a really amazing thing. It's a beautiful thing that sports does. But even outside of sports, being a parent, being a brother, a sister, all of those things matter. You can build a legacy. You just can't stand still. You got to go after it. But you don't have to be a mega superstar in order to build a legacy. You can build a legacy by really anything. You just got to pursue it and just keep going and have that Mamba mentality that you're never going to give up. You are going to be as competitive as possible in whatever field it is that you're in. You just keep going no matter what. And I learned that from Kobe. Kobe was the guy who you wanted on your team. Kobe seemed to be the dad, like that cool dad. He also seemed to be that really just cool person, that nice person, and who was extremely competitive with everything that he did. So, guys, the rest of this year, I'm going to, dedicate the rest of the year, as far as like the videos that I make, I want to dedicate those to Kobe, to his family. And I want to make the best content possible. Every day I want to keep trying to get better, and have that Mamba mentality in the back of my mind, always there. Trying to push me forward, to continue pushing me forward into the next, segments and next chapters of my life. And, that's what I hope for all of you as well, that you have that mentality, that you are not going to let anyone stop you from pursuing what it is you want to do. I'm not going to let anyone stop me from wanting to pursue YouTube as and try to make it a full-time thing one day and create content for all of you as a full-time thing, or Twitch, becoming a streamer, a full-time streamer for you guys. Those are passions, those are visions, those are all goals that you have. Kobe accomplished every goal he set for himself, and that's part of the Mamba mentality. Rest in peace, Kobe. Thank you for everything that you did for me, from someone on the other side of the country, who was at a distance watching you, every step of the way, from when you started playing basketball to now, seeing you and all that success that you had. I'll never forget it. And I pray that you will continue to motivate people like myself to keep pushing forward.